On a cold February night in 2004, a young woman vanished without a trace from a rural New Hampshire road. Her disappearance sparked a mystery that has haunted her family, confounded investigators, and spawned countless theories, each more unsettling than the last. Her name was Maura Murray, and what happened to her remains one of the most chilling unsolved cases in modern American history. Maura Murray was 21 years old, a promising nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She was known for her athleticism, her intelligence, and her determination. But behind her driven exterior, there were signs of strain. In the days leading up to her disappearance, Maura's life had become increasingly complicated, and perhaps out of control. On February 9, 2004, a series of curious decisions set the stage for the mystery. That morning, Maura sent emails to her professors, informing them of a death in the family and stating she would be away for a week. But there was no death. The story was a fabrication. Maura then packed her belongings, emptied her bank account, and purchased alcohol from a local liquor store. She climbed into her black satin sedan and drove north, alone, leaving behind her dorm, her friends, and her past. As the daylight faded into a frigid evening, Maura's journey brought her to the small town of Haverhill, New Hampshire, a remote stretch of Route 112, bordered by dense woods and isolated homes. At approximately 7:27 p.m., a 911 call was placed by a local resident. A car had skidded off the road and crashed into a snowbank. When neighbours arrived at the scene, they found Maura's Saturn, its windshield cracked, airbags deployed, and a box of wine spilled in the back seat. But Maura herself was nowhere to be found. The timeline that followed is as troubling as it is baffling. Witnesses reported seeing a young woman with dark hair standing near the vehicle. One neighbour, a school bus driver returning home, stopped to ask if she needed help. Maura declined, insisting she'd already called for roadside assistance, yet no such call was ever placed from her phone. Moments later, when law enforcement arrived, Maura had vanished, leaving her car, her belongings, and a trail of unanswered questions. The search for Maura began almost immediately. Police scoured the surrounding woods with dogs and thermal imaging. Volunteers combed the icy banks of the Amonoosuc River. Helicopters buzzed overhead. Despite the intensity of the search, not a single trace of Maura was found. No footprints in the snow led away from the car. No scent trail indicated where she might have gone. It was as if the night had swallowed her whole. The investigation would soon take on a life of its own, ballooning into a national obsession. Speculation swirled around Maura's state of mind in the days before her disappearance. She had been involved in a car accident just days earlier. She'd been caught using a stolen credit card. She'd packed her belongings into boxes as if she planned a permanent move. Was Maura running from her problems? Or running towards something? Or someone? As investigators dug into Maura's personal life, more questions emerged. Phone records revealed a mysterious phone call to a number in Vermont, a state not far from where her car was found. Receipts showed the purchase of liquor and snack foods, but no evidence of anyone else accompanying her. And then there was the cryptic email sent to her boyfriend in which she wrote, "I love you more, stud. I got your messages, but honestly, I've been getting scared." What was she afraid of? Was someone following her, or was she haunted by her own secrets? Suspicions soon turned to foul play. Could Maura have been the victim of an opportunistic predator who happened upon her at the very moment she was most vulnerable? Or did she set out with the intention to vanish, orchestrating her disappearance in a bid to start anew? The possibilities seemed endless, and yet, with every passing day, hope faded. The Murray family, desperate for answers, launched their own investigation. They travelled the back roads of New Hampshire, handed out flyers, and questioned anyone who might have seen something, anything, that night. Billboards bearing Maura's face sprang up along the highway. Her father, Fred Murray, became a tireless advocate, accusing law enforcement of failing to pursue key leads. The relationship between the family and authorities grew strained, clouded by frustration and mistrust. Over the years, the theories multiplied. Some believed Maura succumbed to the elements, lost and disoriented in the freezing woods. Others suspected abduction, perhaps by a passing motorist or a local with nefarious intent. Internet sleuths pored over every detail, dissecting timelines, analysing phone records and scouring satellite images. The case inspired books, documentaries and thousands of online forums, each one attempting to piece together the puzzle of Maura's final hours. Yet, despite the relentless attention, no concrete evidence ever surfaced. No clothing, no personal items, no body. The initial investigation, criticised for its early missteps, left critical questions unanswered. Why did Maura head to New Hampshire? What was her plan? And where did she go after leaving her disabled car on that lonely road? In the years since her disappearance, a haunting sense of unfinished business lingers in the White Mountains. The woods still whisper Maura's name. The road where she vanished remains a pilgrimage site for those searching for clues or closure. If Maura left to escape her troubles, she succeeded in becoming a ghost. If she was taken, the secret has remained chillingly well kept. 2 decades have come and gone since Maura Murray's disappearance, yet her story endures. It is a tale of possibility and loss, of questions without answers, of a family's heartbreak and a nation's fascination. The case remains open, her fate suspended somewhere between hope and despair. In the end, what happened to Maura Murray is a question that echoes through the halls of true crime history, a stark reminder that sometimes the most compelling mysteries are those that refuse, stubbornly, to be solved. As the seasons change and the search for truth continues, one fact remains unaltered. On a winter night in 2004, a young woman drove into the darkness and vanished, leaving behind a legacy of silence and a void that has never been filled.